Alright guys, today we're going to talk about steganography. My name is Jean-Patrice, and I'm here with Karim, Rezk. Alright, let's get it started.
Alright, so what is steganography? Let's take a quick look at this image. As you can see in House A, you see a puppy at the bottom left corner, which you don't see in House B. And vice versa, you see the kitten in House B that you don't see in House A. So essentially, about steganography, essentially it's the practice of hiding information within any forms of media. This can be done through pictures, text, audio, video, and bit manipulation. One form of steganography can be watermarking, and we'll talk about that later in the slide.
And we'll also get into the bit manipulation. So we have a definition here: the practice of concealing a message within a medium, whether that medium be, like Karim mentioned, text or audio even. The first usage was recorded in 1499 by Johannes Trithemius, who disguised a cryptography book within a magic book, which is kind of clever. So the one thing to remember about steganography is that it's not actually cryptography, it's obscurity, security through obscurity rather, where you hide a message within the medium and you don't actually encrypt the message. It's hidden in plain sight. I mean, you could say it's hidden in plain sight, but you can't really see it. Implementations of it include, text or audio, but the shared secret is still available to the ones that need it. So essentially, it does follow the Khoshavi principle. So that states that a crypto system is secure even if everything but the public key is knowledge. So right here we have the steganography model, where the secret message and the cover, which is essentially the medium, is put into the medium and encoded into the medium, where rather it be LSB, where the bits are shifted slightly from the original image or audio file, and that object is transmitted within an object or a medium rather. So let's say the internet or YouTube servers, and with the key, the receiver can decode the system and can essentially read the message.
So steganography in the digital age. A little bit about that. It started about in the 1985 when PC revolution came about. Everything started becoming digital: keyboard delay and packet injection, message concealment. You'll see it in like TCP/IP protocol packets, and the concealment of those messages. Noise, sound, image file could be concealed in the pixels, or like sound waves in a noise file or MP4. Echo steganography depends on initial amplitude, offset, decay rate, all those good stuff. So for text steganography is the process of hidden messages within like a PDF, watermark, or JPEG. Text steganography is a subpart of steganography that hides the message behind other covered text file. Moreover, hiding like text behind the HTML code of web pages makes the detection of steganography impractical, as web pages are fundamental building blocks of the internet. But as you see in this image over here, how some of the characters are shifted over a little bit, they usually measure the distances between them to decode the message or anything like that. And in watermarks, you usually see them on like government official papers. Sometimes back in the day, you'd have to put a little bit of lemon on an old piece of paper and put a little bit of flame at the bottom.
It's actually funny you mentioned that, Karim. Actually, Xerox does this thing where it puts little yellow dots on the edge of the paper with every paper that's printed with the Xerox machine, and those dots represent when it was printed, what machine was used, and essentially gives you information about the where the text or that paper came from, which is kind of crazy when you're using it for espionage. Okay, so within image steganography, I think you want to take it from here, or do you want me to?
So for image steganography is a process of hiding images, exploiting them limited capabilities of the human eye. You could shift a little bit of pixels to the naked eye. You can't really see it, but like through a computer machine, you can sometimes. Once you see like the bits behind it and everything and how it shifts over.
We'll get into that, where we can use certain tools to actually decode and do some steganalysis, where we try to find the messages within these mediums. And this graph here just essentially shows you the four main the four main portions of steganography, where we have text, images, audio, video, and protocol. Protocol being TCP/IP or any protocol a computer system would use to either encrypt or verify signatures and such. Within the images portion of steganography, we have a transform domain and image domain. Transform domain is where you actually shift the bits of or rather not the bits, but the distances between the image file, like a JPEG. And the image domain is where you would find the least significant bits shifts within like bitmaps and GIFs. Now, to get into the LSB method, which is actually what people like to use when using steganography, it essentially shifts the least significant bit on every 8-bit every 8-bit image. So if we have a picture of this cute little kitty on the left here, and then the stego image on the right, if you try to notice the differences with your eye, you won't be able to, unlike the first slide where you could clearly see there wasn't a dog in one and there was a cat in the other. The LSB method is one of the main techniques used for within spatial domain, and it's a rather new technique, and it essentially just shifts the 8th bit, and you can see here it reads 1 1 0 0 1 0 0 0 0. So with the LSB shifted method, you essentially you have to have the original picture and the transformed picture to know that those images actually have a message. So without the original image, you wouldn't know that there's actually text within this message or some kind of crypto. Bro, okay. Dude, let's redo that. We'll cut that part. Okay. All right. So onto steganalysis. Similar to cryptanalysis, it's a process of trying to detect hidden messages, hidden by steganography. And one of the focuses on our paper actually is using data mining techniques on steganalysis. So we have the domains here. There's the 4 domains. We just broke down image and text, and you can see here the data mining techniques, whether it be like machine learning techniques within the audio portion of that, where you can use classification and clustering and other machine learning techniques to actually find the differences and find anomalies within the audio file. Same thing with the video file, because essentially they're the same thing. They're the same type of file. It's just overlaid with the image, moving image. Again, with the image, classification, clustering, or other machine learning techniques we can use to similar to that, using data mining, so that we can actually get the message, detect it. And talking about detection, we have some programs here that you can use to try to detect messages that, if they were encrypted with one of these programs, you can actually find the message using the same decryption. Rather, go ahead.
Yeah, pretty much figuring out the key and using the same tools to figure out the decryption of the encrypted message in one of these files. For example, you have invisible secrets as well as S-tools, which figure out hidden secrets in GIFs or JPEGs. As you can see, a StegHide has WAV or BMP.
Yeah, bitmaps, and Hyderman is actually a really good one, but Steganos is one of the main ones, actually the one of the first commercially viable ones, where you can decrypt all kinds of messages and encrypt at the same time. It provides advanced encryption options, from photos to documents, and it's actually a really nice tool to use, and I believe it's open source, and you can download it from their website, or even implement it within your own project.
If you guys have any questions, you could come visit us at Florida Polytechnic campus, and we'll be happy to answer any of your questions about steganography. Here are some test questions in case you'd like to review about this PowerPoint, see all the information you can retain. Question number 1 would be, steganography is a way to hide a message within another medium, and of course this is true, as we explained earlier. How you could hide it within images, text, different things, as well as files.
Yeah, and we also got the LSB method is the every 9th bit switch, which is also a true-false question, and of course it's the 8th bit, so that would be false. We have more. Those two were pretty easy, but we have the third one, which is kind of hard. It asks you what steganosis is, and Karim, if you want to take that.
And that would be essentially detecting hidden messages within image or stuff, which by steganography.
And we also ask Kirchhoff's principle states all parts of the system can be public except what, and that obviously has to be the key. Can't have a public key. And the last question would be the 3 types of mediums that can be used to hide a message. Well, you could use any medium you want, but these are 3 main types. And what are your favorite 3, Karim?
My favorite is audio. I think it's cool to mess with sound waves, but text is pretty interesting too.
Right. Yeah. I like protocol myself, where you can hide messages within TCP or IP and just hide it between the packets.
Awesome.
It's pretty awesome.
That network.
Yeah. All right. Well, we're signing off now, guys.
And here are a couple references if you guys are interested to do a little bit of your own research. Thank you for your time and have a wonderful holiday.
All right.